Brandon here. So I'm episode of Brandon's Boy Problems. Today's episode about how I had COVID. So on my way back from New Orleans, we went on a couple shit, my boyfriend with my best friend and his man. So I started feeling sick on the plane back from the trip. Like we had a layover flight. So like the first flight, like it was like a quick flight between like New Orleans and Charlotte, but still like I guess for those hour-long flights, they don't give you like water or snacks. So I started to feel like dehydrated. Like I really need a water. Of course, the one time on a plane where they don't give me water, is I really need a water. So then like literally like I was just like miserable the whole flight. Like I didn't have time because we had a quick layover to even get a water between the next flight. So we literally had like 30 minutes to get from one gate to the other after waiting for everyone to get off the plane. Like it was just really not a good experience. I started feeling like dehydrated and just like really out of it. So then like when we landed back in Philadelphia, like I instantly got a water. I already had Pedialyte because I've been staying stocked up on Pedialyte just in case like I did get COVID, because like they say you need to stay hydrated. So like I got a Pedialyte and was drinking it, but then like yeah, I started not feeling well. Like I could already tell like I was getting sick, and I was worried like, oh my god, I hope it's not COVID. And then like I started feeling like chills at night before I went to bed, and I just knew like something was wrong. When I woke up, like I definitely had a temperature and like chills. I even had like a little cough, but like thankfully like the fever and cough only lasted like a day or two. Like the majority of my symptoms were really just the whole like nasal congestion, and like I have allergies, so like I'm always really congested, so like that was just like the most intense part. But it's like I'm used to having sinus and allergy problems, so like I'm like it wasn't really that big of a deal for me, and I always like had stuff sucked up. Like I did like a nasal wash because like it's like a neti pot thing. You fill it with hot water, you put the saline salty solution in it, you flush your nose out each nostril. So I did that every single day, and like I lost my taste and smell after like probably like the third day, and I didn't come back for like over a week. So like that was probably like the worst symptom, because it's like I've never been able to like not taste ever before in my life. Like I could not smelling's not a problem for me, because like sometimes I feel like I can barely smell anyway because of like nasal congestion, but just like not be able to taste on top of not being able to smell, and then having congestion was like terrible. And it's like got to a point where it's like I barely even wanted to eat, but like thankfully I was able to eat like the entire time I was sick, because like I need to like keep my strength up. I need to stay hydrated. So I was drinking Pedialyte constantly, always drinking something. I didn't really want like tea or anything, surprisingly. Like normally when I'm sick I do like a hot tea, but I feel like since I'm already feeling hot, like I don't want something that's gonna make me hot. Like I really wanted cold things, so I should eat lots of like ice cream and like water ice, and definitely needed like my nasal sprays, and like took medicine constantly, like all around the clock, just to make sure like I had to beat this. And thankfully like it never got bad when you had to go to the hospital, because like some people COVID like puts them in the hospital. It can completely like fuck up your body. Some people fucks up their brains, or people have like those huge tongues. Like you honestly never know how COVID's gonna affect you. And like I had friends that had COVID before me, and like literally every single person had completely different reaction, different symptoms, different everything. So it's like you can't even like really ask people like how it affected them, because that doesn't mean it's going to affect you the same way. But like I'm grateful, like I started feeling fine like a little over a week later. Like my taste and smell came back like a week and a day after the first one away, but I still was like happy to like I could start tasting again. And like yeah, it just was a really hard experience, but I am grateful like I didn't really have it that badly, and no one else I was on the trip with got sick at all. Like I was the only one that got sick then, so I was just like, why me? Like, but thankfully I overcame COVID. It just was like a really tough experience, because it did take me like pretty much the full 2 weeks to feel like completely better. And I feel like even then it's like you still have times where it's like you might feel like warm or fatigued, because like having COVID when it's hot outside was miserable. Like I felt like I got way hotter faster. I feel like I became like way sweatier, more easier, because like your body's already hot. But like the fever, chills, and cough only last like the first couple days, but there still were like times where it's like you just feel more sensitive to like heat and warm. So that's definitely why it's important to take like fever reducers, like Tylenol, Sudafed, whatever, with the acetaminophen. I don't know how you pronounce it, but that's the medicine you want to take to like cool your body down, to make sure you don't get a fever. You're gonna take your temperature. Always take stocked up on like Pedialyte, Gatorade. Like I wasn't really a hot food person, and like when I lost my taste and smell, like I definitely was losing like my appetite, because it's like you don't even want to eat that much when like you can't taste anything. So I felt like I needed to eat because I had to, and I wanted to eat lots of fruits and vegetables. Like that was like a big thing for me too. Like I needed all the vitamins, all the minerals, all the whatever. I wanted to eat way healthier, so I made sure to eat so much fruit like constantly to try to like give me nutrients so I could get better and get over COVID, because it just was like such a miserable experience being sick. But like thankfully no one else in the house got sick. Like no one that I wanted the trip with was sick then, so like it just seemed to have gotten me. But I made sure to like seclude myself and just stay very like focused on getting better. So medicines, stay hydrated, take my medicines, do my nasal wash, nasal spray, shower, nice warm shower helps like clear congestion. Ooh, sleeping with vapor rub was also amazing. It definitely really helped with like clearing out congestion. Like I felt like my nose started to get clearer than it was before COVID, because I'm always congested and have like allergy stuff. So nasal sprays, nasal wash, vapor rub, amazing, best things ever. And eat lots of fruits and vegetables to keep your nutrients up to make sure you can fight off the illness. And thankfully now COVID's becoming more, well, it's not eradicated yet, but as long as people keep getting vaccinated. I already started getting vaccinated after having the illness, and I go back for my next shot. So I can't wait to be fully vaccinated. Like people are already not wearing masks anymore and going to like big public events and stuff. So it's like definitely make sure to protect yourself, get vaccinated, keep your health up. And the biggest thing when you do have COVID is just like, when you start to feel better, don't completely just stop taking your medicine or stop doing what you were doing to feel better, because it can come back. I've had friends tell me like they felt fine, they stopped taking medicine, and then boom, like a week later it came back. They had a fever again and like they were sick again. So definitely, even when you start to feel better, keep taking your medicines, keep doing what you were doing when you were sick. You can do it maybe in less doses, but definitely keep still taking stuff to try to curb it, to make sure it just doesn't come back, because this COVID illness has been unlike anything anyone else has really experienced during our lifetime. So it's like nobody knows how it's going to affect them, nobody knows what to predict, and just the fact that so many people have died from it is just crazy to me. It's just crazy. Like I had the same virus that has killed millions of people like worldwide, but thankfully I'm here to tell my story. I survived, and thank you for joining me for this episode of Branden's Boy Problems.